Good morning. Welcome to Options Center. It is FOMC day, Wednesday, July 31st, last day of the trading month. And then it's 2024. So we're going to go through around the horn on the 65 minute. This is going to be real simple. I'm going to map out what I think is happening. We had our follow through after yesterday's dip today. Great price action. We're going to be taking off a lot of those calls. And I'm going to give you my strategy and how I am looking at this now. So we talked about in these videos, these past few videos, that we may see another low in the Qs. We already did see a low, so I'll talk you through that. And if that is the low, or if we have one more possible low to go. Now we're doing this video at about 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're a supporter, you'll get these notifications. Make sure you hit those bells. It's 99 cents if you're interested. Otherwise, it comes out to the public at 4 p.m. Now, that's a real advantageous thing if you have catalysts like this coming up on the day, and we can prepare for it together. But otherwise, no big deal. All right, here we go. SPY on the 65. We're looking at this trend line holding here. We've held there. I'm considering this a good low. We spiked through. We still have a good low here. We're getting past resistance. I suspect we have a little bit further to go to close this gap if we want to do so going into FOMC. And then the next time frame we're looking for something to happen is around 8.6. So when we take a direction today, when a direction resolves, then and starts forming a trend, something will happen. I'm guessing at this time frame, this 8.6. We have it on multiple time frames, and so I'm just kind of highlighting it here. Now, let's go over to the other board. We still have the options expected move just right above us, and then we have our price targets. We hit the first price target. This is a 50% retracement of the entire correction, and it's very typical to get a reaction off of it. We did that. Now, I do suspect with FOMC and the high volatility that will come with it, that we will spike up to 554. If not, then I do suspect we have unfinished business up here. But I'm still looking at this turquoise arrow to where we hit our price target around here. We have a layer, a cluster of time and price here around the 554. And I think that IWM is really going to push today. And I don't go through a whole bunch of fundamentals, but we have a setup, an ascending triangle on IWM, the small caps. And also with the FOMC, I'm thinking they might hint on the next meeting at maybe a rate cut or some sort of jargon to where the rate cut might be coming sooner than later. And that's going to really spike the small caps, in my opinion. So on the other hand, I think the Qs are going to get really weak. Now we're going to have our eyes on a specific price target for the Qs, and if we get above, then we're going to remain bullish. And then, but we're going to, so this is going to be the kind of buy trade here. We have the IWM calls, and we'll have the QQQ puts. Mostly on the put side, because I do think that most of the markets are going to retrace somewhat. So we're looking for this price target to hit. We're looking for some sort of retracement going into possibly that 8.6 area. If we don't get a retracement and price continues higher, then clearly we'll be looking for a some sort of put or shorts into that 8.6 zone. So let's go to the Qs and talk through this. All right, snow is moving here. Now, we're forming some sort of wedge here on the Qs, and I do think that possibly has another leg down. We have unfinished business with this head and shoulder left shoulder, head, right shoulder, a breakdown. I think we're looking to back test here, and going into the 474 is our target. Going up there really soon here, maybe even by the end of this video, we're going to add on our Q puts. At first, that's going to act like a hedge as I'm getting out of my calls, but I did add on quite a few IWM calls today, so I don't think I'll be out of all of those, depending on how far it goes. I do suspect maybe we have a 3% up day and or so on IWM, and we end up possibly flat or even lower on the Qs. So here's our neckline at about 474, and after that, now I suspect, because our price action went so fast to the upside, that around 8.6, maybe we're looking for a bottom down here, or maybe even a little after. Doesn't matter, but I'll put that here for now. And so that's going into next Tuesday, turnaround Tuesday. We'll find some sort of bottom with positive divergence, and this will be a nice wedge set up for us to break out and close the gaps up here. So this is kind of the point of view that I'm taking here. We have unfinished business, the measured move from the head and shoulders play. And all you do is you just draw a line from the head to the neckline and then the breakdown point. Then you put that at the breakdown point. So that brings us right to a beautiful support area where you had a lot of resistance, a gap over support. That would be a wonderful play there. So that's how we're gonna hedge, is with this possible really weak scenario where we get the rotation out of tech. We have almost 3% day here at tech. It's insane. And then a rotation into IWM, the small caps. And if we go to the other board, this is how it should look. So we had our new low. That, it could be it. That could be done. And, we start breaking out of that wedge formation over time here, and we have a good low there. That's possible. But I suspect that it sort of looks like a ABC, a three-wave move. So that would mean that this is wave 3, and all this is an expanding flat for an A, B, and then C, which would still target that 382. So that's the key here. Who cares how you count? Who cares about anything else? This level is the key for the market as a whole, in my opinion, what happens next. So I do suspect we get some sort of rejection off of here. That's the 382 from this top here, from the wave 2 down to wave 3. And a typical correction for a wave 4 would be that 382. We rejected off the 23.6 at first, but usually that means something's unfinished. So spiked underneath and getting a C here for a 5 and looking for wave 5. Excuse me, I said 4. I said 5. I meant 4 down to wave 5. So that's what we're looking at on the Qs. IWM starting to try to break out, but I'm looking for the rotation. So we're looking for tech to be strong into our target there, 473 or 474. And then the small caps, I'm looking for FOMC to be the catalyst for this to break out and then get a rejection off the Qs. And then same thing with measured moves. Easy to do, this ascending triangle. We just take our measure move from the peak to the neckline and then put it to a breakout point, which would be the neckline. And so I'm looking at about 233, 234 being the move here for IWM. And so we have a large position to the upside for IWM. We're going to have a large position for the Qs on the downside. And if anything goes wrong with my thesis there, they should pretty much equal each other out, unless this breaks down and the Qs roar to the upside. Okay, Anything else? I just want to look at the VIX real quick. And DIA could be a part of it as well. Part of the move to the up or downside. Doesn't really matter. I do have Boeing. Still holding on to Boeing. But this could reverse as well to bring the market down and help correct. I'm not really playing anything with DIA directly. And then let's look at the VIX and we'll get this out to you. So the VIX is breaking down. And it's sort of forming a flag here. So it might have some a little bit of upside to go. But with IWM moving to the upside, I do suspect this has some lower. Maybe we go down to the options expected move, close this gap or so. Might get stuck in between with. So I'm not going to rely too much on the VIX. If it's going down, then I have a feeling that the IWM is really ripping. And if it does kind of creep around the same spot or even go up some, it's because the Qs are dragging down while the IWM is lifting. So you have, a lot more names to the upside with IWM, and the VIX is kind of won't represent much movement on the market. But yeah, I'm not sure how much this is going to help us. But right now, it could be some sort of flag or so. And I don't know if VIX starts to getting to new highs here, that's a whole nother story. Then, the market's definitely coming down. Looks like we could have some sort of flag, maybe a lower high. Maybe we just eke out a new high to get another divergence here. And that will be our correction in the SPY. While the Qs are dragging it down, IWM's up, maybe get a new spike in the VIX, and then head back down while we continue to move higher and SPY. Remember, I think that SPY is going to make a new high. I think the Qs are going to follow suit, but not make a new high. It should look really kind of identical to that situation. Okay, that's all I got for you. Hope this video helps. Don't forget to like. See you soon.